Thank you and good evening, everybody. Let us all please bow our heads in prayer.
We go now to item number 3, and that is a presentation of a proclamation proclaiming Lázaro Garza Day, today, May the 18th, 2010. And I know that family and friends are here with us tonight to attend this presentation on a friend of many of us, a member of the community for many years who served our city with dignity and respect as a police officer. I wish this could have been done last week when it was, the week that we honor the police officers. But for reasons beyond our control, we had to set it for tonight. Anyway, before I read this, I'd like to say that today, I was thinking about making this presentation, and I said before that Mr. Garza was a police officer here in the city of Pharr, and he brought me some memories about the old days growing up here in the city of Pharr. And I've never thought growing up, 12, 13, 14-year-old maybe, that one day I'll be doing this in front of the public. But I need to be honest with you, and it brought me one of the memories that happened to me and a friend of mine and a compadre and one of my compadres now by the name of Noé Rodriguez, esposo de Lala Rodriguez. And I have to say that one Halloween night, if some of you remember what we used to do back in Halloween nights, back in the late 40s or early 50s, when you were about 14, 15, we were in one night with my compadre Mario Gomez driving the car, Noé Rodriguez and myself, and I forget who else. We're out there Halloween night doing things that we shouldn't be doing. And somehow somebody yelled, "Ahí viene la chota, la policía." And everybody took off, and Noé and I took off and got into the car and left the other guys behind. And Lázaro Garza chased us. and Lázaro Garza caught up with us. And Lázaro Garza took us into the police station. And I tell you, it was an experience that I was thinking about what my mom and dad were going to say that night. Being at the police station, the old police station, Andy was the chief of police then. I forget his name, Trevino, I think it was. And they brought, Lázaro took us in, and before the chief, and he asked my name, and he asked me where I lived and what I was doing. And I said, well, I'm attending school, and I do some part-time work. And he says, where do you work after school? I said, I work with my uncle at Villegas grocery store. I sack groceries and I deliver groceries on weekends and this and that to earn some money to buy my meals at school. And then he turns to Noé Rodriguez and he asks him, and you? He says, well, I also attend in school and we both play football for the Bears, and I also work on weekends. And says, where do you work? And he says, well, I work for Don Juan Martinez, doing the same thing that Polo is doing, sacking groceries and delivering groceries. So Eddie looked up at Lázaro, and he gave us a little tongue lashing and todo, y dijo, se me van para la casa y no vuelvan a hacer esto más. So that was the end of it. We left. Years later, I knew that the reason that Noé and I were left alone is because back then, politics was pretty strong. And I believe my tío Antonio and Don Juan Martinez were good friends of the police department. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you because I thought about that all day long, and it brought me years and years of memories that when you're growing up, sometimes things come very easy to us. We do this and that and the other, not knowing that one of these days we're going to grow up and maybe a public servant, or maybe a professional, or maybe doing something that your past record may hinder your opportunity to land a good job or a good position. But thanks to the Lord, Lazaro treated us well, took us in, did a job, and that was the end of it. So I thought that I would get it off my chest and confess that I was also doing something wrong, like maybe of you out there. Okay?